All right, and should be live. Hopefully live. So I had actually planned on doing this like 30 minutes ago, but y'all know how I am when it comes to streaming. So I, once again, apologize for being completely unpredictable. But yeah, so it's the brand spanking new year, 2021. 2020 is over. So as people start to show up here, thanks for being here, of course. And made some more changes with my camera. So hopefully it makes things a little bit better so the autofocus is not flipping out the whole time that I'm talking. But hopefully everybody is having a great new year so far. I mean, we're already on the second, and I guess it's better than last year. I hope so anyway. Goodness. So, with 2021, there's some interesting things coming up. One, I want to talk about the new Samsung Galaxy S21 phones that are coming out, and then also, New Year, same months. I'm also looking forward to CES, which is only like 9 days away, which is crazy cool, and hopefully there'll be some exciting things that happen there. But I'm definitely going to be there, and I've got some other exciting news to share that's completely not Blackberry related, so don't get your hopes up for that. I still know absolutely nothing there. I know nothing more there than I knew last week, which is the same as I knew like the 4 weeks before that. But hopefully we'll find something out soon, especially with CES coming up. I still believe that would be the perfect opportunity for them to, say something. That would be nice anyway. But yeah, so one cool thing that has happened, I mean, cool in some ways, not cool in some other ways, because I was really looking forward to it. New beard cut, new haircut. Yeah. Actually, I haven't gotten a haircut. The only thing that's happened to my hair is I've lost more, but I have not gotten it cut. And the beard I did trim about 2 weeks ago, so it is a little on the shorter side. And I was watching some of my videos the other day, and my beard's like down to here. And I'm like, man, this isn't really working for me all that much. I don't like this whole short beard thing. I need like an extra 4 to 6 inches on there. So I'm working on growing it back out, but it's a work in progress. It's not a very fast thing that's happening here. I mean, in all reality, this is leaving faster than this is growing, probably. But so I had something interesting happen. Let me adjust my microphone here. Looks like I'm peaking. There we go. So something interesting that happened, as most of y'all know who watched the live stream, like January 1st, I was supposed to be like unemployed from my normal job. And they came through the day before I was unemployed and extended my job again. But the thing about this is they didn't just extend my job, they made me permanent. So I don't have contract extensions anymore. And yeah, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. I mean, of course, I'm very happy to be gainfully employed, but I was really, really, really I was really looking forward to January 1st, just doing YouTube stuff, making videos, doing live stream stuff, spending more time with my family. So now I'm like, well, shoot. I've got to make videos still and still work 40 hours a week. So it's very selfish of me. I mean, I don't want to say anything negative about it whatsoever because it's a great opportunity and it's doing what I've wanted to do ever since I was in law school. So, for those of you who don't know what I do public interest work. So I work for a nonprofit organization for my legal work. So, I mean, I'm not like getting rich or anything, but we help out people who can't afford attorneys with all sorts of different things, whether that's divorce or evictions or landlord-tenant issues, or me particularly, I help out with low-income taxpayers. So people who owe the IRS money and they can't afford to pay it and they can't afford an attorney, and my job pays me and I help them for free. So it's a great way to give back to the community. It's what I enjoy doing. So I'm not going to walk away from that voluntarily, but for like a month or so there, I was really getting used to the idea of waking up and just doing YouTube and drinking my coffee in the morning. So, but I still plan on mostly keeping up my same workload when it comes to my videos, because some people were like, oh, well, what's going to happen to your videos? You're going to quit making videos so much? You're going to throttle back? Or since you're not going full time? I'm like, just so you know, I've been working 40 hours a week and still making 7 to 8 videos a week for like the last 2.5 to 3 months. So things aren't really changing, other than I'm just not getting a break from the 40-hour a week job. So Let's see how that works out into the new year. But I still plan on making plenty of videos because I'm always busy. Preston, hey, thanks for showing up. It's going well. Thank you for asking. Hopefully year 2021 is off to a good start. And Jeff Neves, yes, thank you very much for the congratulations. And Carlos Flores, I don't know which one of those names you want to be addressed by, but is there any new news? No, there's not any new news yet. I'm hoping to hear something. I mentioned this before. I'm really hoping to hear something at CES. That's not a guarantee, though. That's just I'm really hoping. I mean, it would just be if they were going to announce something like 3 weeks later. It just wouldn't have the same effect as it would if they went ahead and said something there, because they basically got the pulpit. They've got the platform there. So if they've got something they're going to announce soon, it would make sense that it would be there. But if they don't announce anything there, I'm still expecting probably at least 4 to 6 weeks before we hear anything. So this is one of those, like, hopefully we hear something there. If they announce something at CES, it's going to be all over the place. Like, people are going to cover it. If they announce something on a Thursday in the middle of January at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's just not going to have the same level of effect. So I hope that they have something available then to announce. That would be great. Mr. Wasp TV Gaming, hello. Thank you for being here tonight. So yeah, that's kind of it in the personal life there when it comes to the job stuff. George Nellis, Happy New Year to you as well. Jeff Neves, they need announcements. Just mail. There's more than 30 people. There's like 35, but that is funny though. I mean, yeah. I think that the announcement is not so much for those of us who are looking at the news headlines every day to see if there's going to be something. I think it's mostly to let the rest of the world know that they still, are in the phone business, kind of, sort of, in a way, through a third party that's licensed the phone. And here's the thing. And I've actually had a lot of people that have been making negative comments lately. And whatever. People can make whatever comments they want. It's a free world. But when it comes to BlackBerry stuff, there seems to be people, and I was in this camp before. I really was. When they first announced that BlackBerry was going to Android, as opposed to BlackBerry 10 with the Priv, like, I was really not happy about that. And I got on board with it. I was like, all right, fine, I'll go buy the stinking Priv. And so I got it. And I generally liked it, other than the fact that, like, a couple of days into using it, I was really angry that it got really hot and froze up and the battery life was terrible and it was Android. So yeah, I had issues about that. And then when they went to the whole TCL venture, that's like when I stopped hanging out in Crackberry. That's when I sold my blue BlackBerry Classic. Like, I was so mad when they went from the Priv and said that they were going to, they were going to do the DTEC devices with TCL, that I sold on my BlackBerry 10 phones. I mean, I didn't have a lot of money back then, and I wanted to get a good Android phone. So I was like, I just said, you know what, y'all guys are leaving us behind, fine, I'll leave you behind too. So I went, and that's when my brief stint where I started using other phones for a bit, and then that's why I've had to repopulate my BlackBerry 10 collection over the years. Let me see here. BlackBerry, your nanny used one. Huh. Well, actually, I don't know about that. Darren Anderson, hello. Thanks for being here. Anthony Davis, yes, first live stream you've caught. Well, I'm glad that you're here for this one. Hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, this is the first one of the year. BlackBerry, use your phone to rent Blockbuster videos. Yeah. So, yeah, I was upset about that. And then when it came to the other phones later on, like the BlackBerry mobile devices, I figured, you know what, let me go ahead and give it an honest go. And I'll try out the Key 1. And I generally liked Key 1, other than the quality control issues that I had. But I did that, and then moved on to the Key 2, Key 2 LE, the Motion, all that good stuff. And generally I like those devices. But there are some people who really, really, really are against Android BlackBerries. I would like to be in that camp. But the thing is, when it comes to that, if there's no Android BlackBerry, there's certainly not going to be a BlackBerry 10 BlackBerry, so then there's no BlackBerry. So I would certainly be more happy with having an Android BlackBerry than no BlackBerry. So, I mean, if you're more happy having no BlackBerry than Android BlackBerry, then go right for it. Pixel greater than BlackBerry? Absolutely not. Palm greater than BlackBerry? No, also not. But I appreciate the sentiment. Robo Miser watching on Key 1. Oh, cool. Yep, Key 1's a solid phone. Is it the silver one or the black one? Broken Zune. I never had a Zune before. I always wanted one, and I could just never bring myself to buy one. And whether this is surprising or not, I've never actually been like really big into music. I didn't even have like a media player. The only media player I ever had was back in 2006 when I went to Iraq for 6 months, and I bought a iPad Nano. Sorry, not iPad, iPod Nano. It was like the 2 gigabyte or 4 gigabyte version or something like that. And I remember I put like 2 gigs worth of music on them and took it overseas with me. And I was stuck listening to the same music for like 6 months. So I would actually ration my music on there and just listen to like certain artists or certain albums over periods of time. So that way, during the time that I was there, since I could not get any new music, I wouldn't run out of the music to listen to. And it actually worked out. Like 4 months into my deployment, we had these new people that showed up, and they brought like tons and tons of like portable hard drives with music on them. So then I was finally able to update my music once I made friends with some of these people. But yeah, it was some dark times there for a little while. I mean, you can only listen to so much Lifehouse and Nickelback. I mean, this was 2006, so the landscape of music just wasn't amazing during those times. And yeah, and the Breaking Benjamin Diaries of Jane album came out while I was over there, and I really enjoyed that. People, it was acceptable to listen to Lifehouse in the year 2006, Scott. But yeah, so coming up on this new one, like I said, the new Blackberry that's coming out. Yeah, I mean, I would love for them to revive Blackberry 10 somehow, but it's just not going to happen. I mean, they've already announced the phone is going to be an Android-based phone, so yeah, that's just the way that it is. I mean, they're not going to make another Blackberry 10 device, at least not at this point, and the end of life is in January of 2022. So pretty much, I believe that's why they're going ahead and doing this licensing agreement. I've said this in other videos before. The network carriers are not supporting the phones as much anymore. Like T-Mobile, as of right now, I haven't put my SIM card in it yet. I've just been so busy the last couple of days, so I haven't put in my T-Mobile SIM card to see if my phone will still work, but I believe that it won't. And yeah, they don't support voice over LTE, the BlackBerry 10 devices. So moving into 2022 or 2021, T-Mobile's out, and then in 2022, AT&T is out. So by 2022, there's effectively not going to be any networks for the BlackBerry 10s to run on in the United States. So that's, I think, why there's this big push now, because if they say that there's going to be a new phone within the first half of the year, I mean, I've assumed that that's to mean that they're going to announce it. I mean, hopefully they'll release it by then so that we can buy one, but I don't foresee that being something that happens till around probably June or July timeframe. If it gets here earlier than that, then that's totally amazing. But I just don't know at this point. So if they were to go ahead and wait, all those people are going to migrate. So if you look at what you get with the BlackBerry 10 devices and the people that are hanging on to them, moving into 2022, if they absolutely can't use their phone anymore, and a lot of people are still hanging on to the BlackBerry 10 devices. So that's the thing. And whenever it comes to that, people are going to have to look for new phones. So they need to make sure there's a new BlackBerry on the market. Otherwise, then they'll have no choice. And then people probably really are not going to want one, because if you go get locked into a 2-year payment plan with an iPhone or a Note or whatever, then it's not like going to go out and go sell your phone 3 months later and get a BlackBerry. So, yeah. Let me see. George Priv, luckily in Canada, the companies are only shutting down CDMA and 2G. 3. Well, that's good. I wish that's what they were doing here, because a lot of people still prefer to use these phones, and there's a lot of other phones that people prefer to use too. But T-Mobile will give you a free phone, but there's only like 3 phones to choose from, and it's like the Revel. There's like 3 really cheap phones that you can choose from if you have the service with them. But look, I get it. They're trying to clear up the bandwidth. I'm sure they want to repurpose it. I'm sure the government is probably behind it with the deregulation of those bandwidth streams. So who knows? But that's the thing. They're like right now there's this narrow window, and fortunately I've been saying this for a little while. I think this narrow window coincides really well with an opportunity for these phones, because people are looking for novel form factors. They want exciting devices. Whether you think a physical keyboard is exciting or not, I'm sure some people do, and I'm sure some people don't. But whenever it comes to just using an iPhone or just using the same old Android device over and over and over, that they just change the name on and move the position of the camera and the fingerprint sensor. Yeah, so that right there, I mean, I think that people might be looking for something new. Clearly, there have been a lot of alternatives this year. They're on the expensive side, but they'll get cheaper over time. You look at the Z Flip, you look at the Z Flip 5G, the Motorola Razr, the Razr 5G, you look at the Wing, you look at the V60, you look at the Duo. There's a whole lot of stuff. So I think that right now, a physical keyboard phone, which we haven't had a new one in quite a long time, and generally people seem to like the Unihurt Titan. And I think that that's probably going to be something more mainstream too, because I've talked to those people and there's supposed to be a Titan 2. I don't know at what point. But when they do have one, they're supposed to send it to me so I can review it. So that's cool. But yeah, going into 2021, I think that the landscape is really ripe to have a keyboard phone come back again. And of course, Blackberry is synonymous with physical keyboard. So I think they're in the best position to do it. And I think this is the best time because you have people that are looking for these novel form factors. It's not going to be $1,000. It's not going to be $1,200. It's not going to be $1,400. So it should be relatively affordable. If they can get it in the carriers, then that's even better. I don't know if that's going to happen or not because I think the carriers probably got burned pretty good with the Key 1. That didn't work out so well. So who knows? I know when I talked to Peter with Onward Mobility, he was talking about they were in talks with the 4 major carriers, or all the major carriers in the U.S. So, I mean, that at least gives us AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. And Verizon's been synonymous with Blackberry before as well. I don't think that they would do a network exclusive with this. I think that would be a terrible idea right now. But that's just the way of things are right now. So you've got an aging platform with Blackberry 10 that's going to be not supported in a year from now, 1 year from now. There are not going to be any LTE networks that support them a year from now. And then you've got this new phone coming out. So that gives about 6 months for people to transition over. Yeah, we do want keyboard phones, Jeff. Some people want keyboard phones, and I'm one of those people, and there's other people as well. Let me see. Preston's thoughts. I have high hopes for the new Blackberry. Yes, I do too. Monu, hello. Happy New Year. Hey, man, thanks for that. Happy New Year to you as well. What else we got here? USA doesn't like metric and tried CDMA. Quit trying. Yeah, CDMA is terrible. Other countries have been using GSM for way longer than us. It's taken us so long to get off of this stupid CDMA network. FCC Spectrum, yeah, that's the thing. And it started with the deregulation of the 5G stuff before, and they had the 600 megahertz spectrum auction and all that good stuff a few years ago, and that's where T-Mobile made out like a bandit, and they got way ahead of the power curve and got half of the spectrum and then left the rest of it for Verizon and AT&T to fight over. So I think that's big. Reviewers, hello. Today I have a review of yeah. And that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people appreciate the benefits of a physical keyboard. You get hotkeys, you get the ability to have a tactile keyboard where the buttons are in exactly the same spot. You can feel them. You can build muscle memory. You can do your characters and your symbols and your punctuation easier. You can do everything there without having to hit all the different screens. Like I can type so fast, so accurately with the proper punctuation, capitalization, symbols, numbers, everything else. And then you get the hotkeys you can press so you can open up different apps or you can switch between stuff or you can... There's a lot of things you could do with a physical keyboard. I mean, you can program things for all sorts of stuff. So I'm hoping that maybe they might take that to the next level. And what also interests me is I really hope they're bringing back the tool belt. And this may make some people like, whatever, the tool belt. And some people are like, yes, the tool belt. I think the tool belt is important. One, it's really nice to just hit a button to answer phone calls and end phone calls. Like I get really tired of having to press somewhere and then drag the button or whatever you have to do to swipe it over. But I like having the tool belt. I like having the trackpad. It's so frustrating, especially with Apple, trying to get the cursor in the right spot so that you can fix a letter. And the autocorrect is atrocious. I was using my iPhone 12 Pro Max for like a month, and then I switched back to my Z Flip 5G, which typing on is actually better. And then going back to the iPhone, like I'm having such issues with autocorrect, and the iPhone thinks it knows better than me what I'm trying to type, so then it keeps changing my words. Yeah, I really hope they bring back the trackpad. It's great. I mean, I would rather have a trackpad and a tool belt than a touch-sensitive keyboard. I want the 4-row keyboard and a trackpad. You can use that to scroll up and down on the website. You can use it as a cursor. You can use it to, edit text and swipe and select all and copy and paste. There's a lot of things that you can do with it, and I think it's probably cheaper and more effective to put that in the phone than to have the all touch sensitive keyboard. And then maybe it would make it easier to make it waterproof, if that's even possible. I don't know how they can do that without taking away from the typing experience. Like the Unihurt Titan found a way to do it, but it's got that rubber membrane keyboard on there, which makes the buttons feel spongy. They've got really long key presses, and it just doesn't feel the same. Like, I think that the individual keys without that rubber membrane stuff are better. Trackpad on the back of the phone. I mean, maybe that could be doable. I mean, put a fingerprint sensor on the back of the phone and also make it a trackpad. I mean, I could see that. I like the idea of getting the whole tool belt back, but that right there might also be a fair compromise as well. That would be very easy. It's a very natural thing. You've got your hand on the back, so you can swipe up and down to go up and down the web page. I mean, I think that would work. I think it would be a little bit more difficult and like kind of backwards when you're trying to select and text and all that good stuff. But yeah, I think they need some form of the trackpad on there, and the most iconic place would be on the front. And if they could maybe make the trackpad a little bit bigger and have it double as a fingerprint sensor, maybe that would work out well too. I don't know. I'm really interested to see what these guys do, because they've said that it's going to be a new keyboard. It's not going to be a keyboard that's been used before. They're not recycling an old one. So when people are like, oh, I want a new Passport, I want a new Classic, they've said up front that it's going to be a new design. So hopefully they do some research and development, they do some focus groups, they do some meditation, some praying, some whatever it is they need to do for insight to make this device, because I'm fairly certain if this device tanks, then that's probably it. I don't see anything else after that. 50 megapixel camera. I think that they just need to get a decent camera in there. As long as they've got a good sensor in there, I mean, a 12, 13, 14 megapixel primary shooter is going to be perfectly fine. And you look at all the industry-leading phones right now, and they've all got 12 megapixels in them. You look at the iPhone, it's got 12 megapixel cameras everywhere. The telephoto, the wide angle, and the primary shooter, and the selfie camera. So you look at the dual 12 megapixel cameras on the Z Flip. So I think that they're perfectly good to go in that department. We don't need a 40 or 50 megapixel camera. All that ever was just a marketing ploy. And it was cool when they did it with Microsoft with the Lumia phones. But I don't, that was a different time period. People, I think, realize that 40 megapixel sensors don't translate into better pictures nowadays. Yes, Tom, predictive text is terrible. So I'm hoping we can get back to just really good texting and really good typing. It's used to take yes, I know. It's to take pictures to print them out, because the larger the megapixel, the better quality you get when you blow the picture up whenever you print it out. Because you start losing clarity and sharpness, because you've got too little pixels filling the space. And if I remember correctly, I think that it's like 23 megapixels is like the perfect size for like a 10 by 12 photo. So yeah, if you have a 12 megapixel camera, then the ideal photo you're going to print out is going to be like a 5 by 7, but still. Will the keyboard suck because anything similar to Blackberry will get them sued? No. They can't get sued for the keyboard. They've got a licensing agreement from Blackberry to make the phone, so it's not going to be like that. That's the whole thing. Onward Mobility has a licensing agreement from Blackberry to make the phone. That's like permission. That's like, here's permission. We're going to support you in this way. That's how licensing agreements work. Now, to the extent of the licensing agreement, I don't know. I don't know how much intellectual property it gives them. I don't know what it gives them access to, but it's giving them the right to make it. They're working with FIH, and the software is going to be coming from Blackberry as far as I know. So there are different levels of support in this licensing agreement, which of course I haven't seen and I'm not privy to. But certainly no, they're not going to get sued for making a keyboard that looks like that. They're just trying something new, and I don't blame them. I think something new might be what we need at this point, because they've tried doing the same old, and the same old is not working. So if that's not working, then let's try something a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more new. But we've had form factor changes, and I don't think that's a bad thing. You look all the way back to 15 years ago, 17 years ago. I mean, the original Blackberries and how they just looked like pagers with the little buttons on them. And then we got the phones like the, what was it, the 7000 series? I'm trying to remember which one it was I had in 2006. I didn't... Let me try and remember which one I had. If I can find it. 7 Series, 7230, 7100T, that's one I had. And that one was interesting. So when it comes to the 7100T series, that's when I first got mine with AT&T, and it had the little track wheel on the side, and also it had the 2 letters per key. And it's funny, I still can envision that keyboard and remember where the buttons are at to like where I could type on that thing. And it was crazy because it had 2 buttons on there, 2 letters per button, but you could actually type on it really well. So that was surprising. And then we got into the Pearl series, we got into the Curve series, the Bold series, and all those other phones. BlackBerry has changed its DNA in some ways, but kept the physical keyboard. Then going into the Q10, the Classic, the Passport. I mean, largely, I don't think there's ever really been a bad physical keyboard other than the Priv. I totally hated that one. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think what they come up with will be good. I'll send you the headphones this week. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. I appreciate it. I don't know what headphones you're talking about. Is that Adam? And if Microsoft wants to dabble in Android, BlackBerry should up Apple. Do you think a screen protector is necessary on a tablet? It really depends. Like if you just use it inside and you have a folio cover, then I think that you're probably going to be okay. I don't personally have one on mine, but I don't ever take it outside of the house, and I have the laptop cover, so if I do need to travel with it and put it in my backpack, I have that. But I don't personally put them on mine. And then if you've got like the Tab S7 Plus like I do, and you want to use the fingerprint sensor, it's hit or miss whether the screen protector will allow you to do that or not anyway. So I put one on my Tab S6 and I hated it, so I just try to be really careful with my Tab S7. My S7 Plus rather. Tom C, love the Classic, and I really do miss the physical keyboard. I do too, man. And that phone for me was like my favorite keyboard, my favorite BlackBerry 10 phone, other than the favorite keyboard layout. And I have to parse this very carefully because I really do enjoy the BlackBerry Porsche P9983. I think that's my favorite keyboard ever, the actual construction of the keyboard. But I love the layout and the configuration of the Classic better. And I wish we had gotten a Porsche version of the Classic. That would have been absolutely awesome. I like the curved keyboards, Ephraim. Yes, that one, the curved keyboards are really good too. Jeff Neves, you had a couple of playthings. Email, yeah, Snake was great. Grills, great to join the chat with you. Hopefully Armor Mobility truly takes the time to give BlackBerry loyalists a great keyboard along with making sure it has great specs. I think it will. And I think that we're going to have good specs because we basically have to. I mean, they would have to really go out of their way to give us bad specs because it's so easy to get good specs. If you've got mid-tier or near flagship level quality specs nowadays, anything in the last year or two, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to get a year or two ago hardware, but they're really good. I mean, if you look at the Snapdragon 765, you look at the Snapdragon 865, 855, anything out of those class is totally fantastic. So looking at 2021 and what we could end up seeing in them, if you're at least that good or better, you're going to get a really good experience. And I think maybe that might be time to have another conversation regarding specs because, specs were never really a big selling point before. They were only a selling point with Android because they made them a selling point. Like if you looked at Apple all the way up until the iPhone 6, it still had 1.5 gigs of RAM in it, something terrible like that. So they always just did more with less, and it was all about the software. Like if you looked at BlackBerry 10 still runs smooth as butter. Like it still runs really, really well, and it's old and it's outdated, but it was the way it was designed really, really took advantage of the hardware because it was built for it. Android doesn't work that way, so they have to throw a bunch of horsepower and a bunch of RAM at it, and it's just not optimized. It never has been. So there's never been a spec war when it comes to Apple because their stuff just works. So when it comes to this, Do we accept the fact that we want the keyboard, and as long as the keyboard just works and it's a good experience, or are we going to have a fit because it doesn't have a Snapdragon 888 in it? And I don't think that's something worth getting wrapped around the axle over. As long as it offers a great performance and it does everything you need it to do, and it has a good camera and it has great battery life, and the keyboard experience is fantastic, then I don't think that quibbling over that is something that I'm going to worry about. Let me see here. I got the Tab S7 on Christmas. I can't seem to get any screen protectors that delivered me. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of stuff available out there. I would just keep checking Amazon, and the ones that I typically use are like Super Shields. They seem to have some pretty decent ones. So, I mean, you can be on the lookout for some of that stuff. But as long as you take care of it or get a cover case like with the folio, you should be all right. What are your thoughts on the Unihurt Titan? So, the Unihurt Titan, I think, is actually a pretty decent device. The concerns that I've had are software and security related. They're not physical concern issues that I have with it. Yeah, it is ugly. I do think that the Unihurt Titan is an ugly phone. And it's super heavy. Don't ever play with that one in bed while you're laying and they're typing on your phone, because if you drop that on your face, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. Don't do it. But yeah, I think that Unihurt did a really good job with it. I mean, they just kind of came out of left field and like, look, we're going to crowdfund this and kickstart it and make a phone, and it actually turned out pretty well. I don't know if it's got Android 10 or not yet. Some people were asking me about that the other day. I sold mine a few months after I got it just because I didn't care for it personally, and I wasn't going to make any more videos on it, and I bought it with my own money. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad phone. And I think that whatever the Titan 2 is going to be is probably going to be a refined version of that. So I'm looking forward to that. Just the only issue I have is longevity moving forward, and I have security concern issues with it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But otherwise, I think that they did a decent job. Is it possible 3 back home and hold button remove and swipe? Yeah, I don't know. But the thing is whenever it comes to this new phone, it's going to have swipe gestures. It's not going to be like the Blackberries we have now that have the capacitive buttons on it. Android 10, Android 11, they're all swipe gesture based, so there's not really much of a point to take up that small part of the bezel on the screen and put capacitive buttons in there. So I fully expect this to not have those type of buttons, which will allow them to exploit the screen and give us a better viewing experience. Good ideas for a physical keyboard to light up for easy use in the dark. Yeah, and they've done that before with keyboards, so I think that we'll probably see that before, unless you were talking about the Titan. I got it with the keyboard cover, Mr. Wasp, and it's really good. Yeah, I like the keyboard cover. I think it's fine. The only thing that irks me about the keyboard cover on the Tab S7 is it doesn't have, I don't believe it has the function keys, does it? I think that's one of the things it's missing. And I think that keyboard case is really overpriced. I mean, I got it with mine because I got a deal when I got my Tab S7 Plus. I got it for like $100 or $150 or whatever. But yeah, I'm not the craziest about it, but it's definitely the best one out there. Pro tip, don't drop things on your face, it hurts. That's absolutely true. And if you've ever dropped a heavy phone on your face, you know this. And it's probably happened to a lot of people over the last year as people spend more and more time at home and more time laying in bed playing on their phones. I almost smashed my face with my Tab S7 Plus again the other night because I was sitting there at like 2:30 in the morning trying to make a thumbnail. And yeah, you just have to be careful with that. Whenever it's getting late at night, like roll over and start playing with your phone on your side. You're putting your life in your own hands the other way. Michael Loki, it is my understanding that, yes, the new BlackBerry phone will be built by, well, it's not going to be built by Onward Mobility. So Onward Mobility is like the marketing and the administrative figurehead that's bringing this to market. FIH is building it. FIH is a subsidiary at Foxconn. And if you don't know this, Foxconn made the BlackBerry Classic. So they're the ones making it. FIH is making this phone. BlackBerry is supplying the software, the intellectual property, and whatever else. And then Onward Mobility is like, they're the ones that are putting this all together. They're going to control inventory, sales, marketing, all that good stuff. So they're like the front man for what's going on behind the scenes, orchestrating all of it. Mr. Grills, I responded to one of your videos about starting up a gold P9981 and P983. Looking forward to the new BlackBerry in 2021. The P9983 is one of the best keyboards. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Like the tactile feedback and just the way the keyboard feels, the responsiveness, the keys. It's just so good. Jeff Neves got the bookcase. I was like 60. Yeah, that's not bad. There are some decent alternatives out there and worth it just to shut the screen off. Yeah, I like that too. It gives you the ability to put it in sleep mode or put the screen in standby mode rather. Did you put a screen protector? No, I did not put one on my Tab S7 or S7 Plus. I did have one on my S6 before I traded that in. They could do their own software better than Blackberry 10, especially since they're already pursuing the quantum computing industry. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see moving forward with what's going to happen with technology. See, the thing is whenever it comes to that, BlackBerry does not have the footprint for that anymore. Like, they had to build the operating system from the ground up. They had people in programming and software and all that other stuff. Like, all that stuff has basically been offloaded and consolidated to different areas. So I haven't seen a massive hiring of 500 new people in Waterloo, Canada. So I'm fairly certain that they're not spinning things back up over there. It seems like what we're going to get is probably just some sort of a streamlined version of Android. Although when I did talk to Peter during the interview and other things I've seen them say, he's a software guy. That's what his background is. He's got a background in software. So if there are certain things that they want to do, or if they've got some sort of vision for how this is supposed to play out, I'm sure he's offered his own opinion and vision on this stuff. They, I'm sure, approached BlackBerry with the idea to do this. I didn't see anything out there where BlackBerry is like, everybody send us in your submissions, we're going to pick a new person to make this. So it seems to me that they said, hey, we see a void that needs to be filled. We've got an idea. We believe in BlackBerry. We want to use the name, and we want to give people a keyboard phone. Let's do business. And that's probably what happened. So I would tend to believe, and the other thing that tells me that is because they've outright said it's going to be a new novel keyboard. So I'm sure that they have their own spin on how they want to do this. And yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, if BlackBerry can reduce their liability, doesn't have to worry about, and everybody knows that BlackBerry was absolutely terrible when it came to product and inventory management. Sometimes third parties can do it better. So if you can save money and if you can lower the liability, that gives you better control and flow over inventory and product and getting it to where it needs to go. But also you shift that liability so BlackBerry shares won't tank when they say, hey, we sold this many phones, because they don't care. Or BlackBerry won't lose money, or they won't lose goodwill in the industry if it starts doing bad, because they're not responsible for it. They're basically saying, we have built this, we're going to allow you to use our foundation and our history and our goodwill to make this device with our logo on it and give it our blessing. So that's basically how this goes, and we'll support you in any way that we can, according to whatever the licensing agreement is. That's my view on the whole thing. So look, if you can bring three companies together with Onward Mobility and FIH and also BlackBerry to make this happen, go for it. Has my tab? No, my tab hasn't really been getting any scratches because, one, I pretty much always use my stylus when I interact with it, and two, it's sitting on a stand next to my bed, so it doesn't really get ever taken anywhere I would scratch it up. And really, your mileage is going to vary with how your screen looks. Just take care of it. I had an idea for a futuristic keyboard. Why not make each key a screen? Yeah, I've heard that before, and I think Mr. Mobile had posited something like that as well before, like wanted to see something like that. That would be cool. You would have a truly customizable keyboard. I don't know how that technology would work because, I mean, I guess you could section it off, but you would have to work really hard to create that keyboard experience. So I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to see. We have no idea. They've said nothing. They've shown nothing. This is all being kept very tightly under wraps, and I do have to commend them for that because in a world of leaks, we just don't have any yet, and that's surprising to me, but I give them kudos at the same time. There's probably some really, really strict provisions in there in this licensing agreement, because that stuff would, of course, they've got non-disclosure agreements. They couldn't breach those and end up getting sued and causing bad problems with the business. So there's not a large footprint of people at Onward Mobility. So if something leaked out, it would be very, very easy to be like, okay, who did it? Jim, John, Jack, Jane, or Jill? Which one of you leaked this out? So it would be very easy. I mean, that's the thing with these big companies. They have anonymity, if that's how you pronounce that. But anyway, they're anonymous, essentially, because when you've got 500 people working in research and development, it's very easy for one person to leak something out and not figure out who did it. When you've got two guys, It's really easy to figure out. Like, you can walk in there with the certainty and be like, look, I know it was you, or I know it was you. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping to see something in the near future, though. And also, a big thanks for everybody who joined me here tonight. We've got 42 people in here right now. And yeah, every time I click the button on here, I'm always amazed at the amount of people that show up and want to come hang out with me and listen to me talk and ask questions. So I appreciate that. And if you enjoy the video or the live stream while we're here, then please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications. Of course, I do try to live stream every weekend, whether that's Friday night or Saturday night. I've been a little off here lately, and I've just been super overloaded whenever it comes to work. Like, it's really hard to work 40 hours a week, and I've been doing end-of-year closeout stuff, trying to get all my cases closed out, transferred over for the next year, and also trying to, like, I just looked at this yesterday. I made 76 videos in the last 60 days, and that's not including live streams. And I do a weekly live stream with my buddy English Dan. I do another weekly live stream here, at least one. So that's 2 a week. So 2 times at least 8 weeks, that's 16. So I basically did like 90 videos in the last 60 days and worked 40 hours a week. And if y'all don't know, like, my wife and I, we have 6 kids. So there's not a lot of sleep going on here. I've been taking a lot on myself these last 2 months because it's been the busiest time of the year. So I've just been reviewing so much stuff, and I'm still backed up. So I've got things from like a month ago that I'm still trying to get videos on, and then things pop up that are urgent for me to get out of the way. So yeah, I've got to shift and focus my attention all the time. So moving into 2021, I mean, I don't know if 7 different 7 videos a week is sustainable. Like, it was sustainable for a few months while I was working really hard. But I don't know if that's sustainable indefinitely, because what's happening is the quality of the videos diminish. Now, the authenticity and the objectivity and the message doesn't diminish, but there's less that I can put into B-roll. There's less that I can put into production. So yeah, there's a fine line there, because if I do a video review, I want to do it right, and I want to be able to sit there and, you know, tell y'all in not only an informational manner, but also in an engaging and entertaining manner that people want to watch. So I've been putting some thought in that the last couple of days, just looking at it and like, all right, Monday I go back to work, but I'm still working and still making videos. So I have to find a way to balance that to where I'm not, like, you know, running on 4 hours of sleep every day. And that's just some candidness on my part. So, you know, we'll see. But like I said, I'm still going to be probably doing at least 5 a week, but I just don't know if 7, I don't know if 7 is sustainable. I need some time off. Here's the other thing. Like, last night, I wasn't even planning on making a video last night. I mean, I had stuff that I wanted to do, but I ended up taking a break last night. I played some Call of Duty for a little bit with my buddy, and it was like 11:30, and my wife was doing other stuff. I'm like, yo, let's go make the other video. And then it's like I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning, which is fine. I slept until like 11 today, but you know, that's just how things go. I stay very busy, and even when I'm not busy making videos, I've always got it in the back of my mind, like, I need to go make this video. So then I'll go start doing that. Adam number 2, not Adam number 1. Yeah, so I'm likely taking a mental health day this evening, and I'm going to play some more Call of Duty. Just because I hadn't played in so long, so I was really enjoying that last night, even though I was doing terrible. Like, I was doing absolutely terrible. And then I've spent entirely too much time playing around in the stock market lately, and that's just ruining my lunch. More stuff here. So, international giveaways, Monu. At this point in time, I don't see that happening. When it comes to the new phone, I got to see what kind of resources I have to work with, and I got to see how willing Onward Mobility is to work with me. Apparently, they watch my videos, which is cool. I like those guys, so I'm happy that they believe in the message that I'm putting out there, and they believe in the videos that I put out. So I'm hoping that we can work closely together in the future, and I'm also hoping to work more with Crackberry in the future as well too. Crackberry is a great place with a bunch of really good people, and I've spent years and years and years there. Not so much lately because I'm always busy, but I think there's going to be a revitalization of that, I at least hope, as the new phones come out. So I'd like to cooperate with them as well to try and present the information. Is there any way to transfer SMS from my Z10? I don't know. I've never done that before. I would have to look into that. There might be. I would like the next Blackberry to have a large screen like the Passport. I want one kind of similar to that. What I'd really like to see, and I think this is pretty much what I've echoed consistently for a while now, is I want something the size like that looks like the Classic, but a little bit wider and a little bit taller. Like I want a taller screen, but not as tall as the Key 2. I want a wider keyboard, but not as wide as the Passport. So if we can find a happy medium between all three of those phones, I think it's a win-win. And real quick here, I do want to acknowledge this. Mr. Ram Emanuel, thank you very much for the super chat. I very much appreciate that. Thanks a lot. And I need to program some sounds in here. I don't know if y'all can hear these. Maybe y'all can hear that. I'll just ring the doorbell for the monetary contributions. I do need to add sound on there, though. Do you have a maid named Alice? No, I don't. That would be great, though. And I actually grew up watching The Brady Bunch, really good show. So if y'all think that it's funny that I have 6 kids, you're going to get a load out of this. I actually come from a family of 9. I am the second oldest of 9 siblings, 7 boys and 2 girls. All the same parents, no twins. So when people are like, oh, you have such a huge family, I just like to say that I downsized. I went from 9 to 6. But yeah, we do have 6 kids. Amir Odidi, hi. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Yeah, hot chocolate and cheese. I don't know that I would mix hot chocolate and cheese, but definitely it's time for some hot chocolate because it's cold outside. So I may have some of that later. 212 help desk. Yes, absolutely quality instead of quantity. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I've been looking at that lately. I don't feel like the quality of the message that I'm putting out there is suffering too much, but I'm at the point now where I've got so much stuff to review. It would not be good for me to try and rush through this stuff. So if y'all end up seeing a day or two in the week now where maybe I don't put a video out, and of course I'll be transparent about this, I'll probably just put something on YouTube in the community chat saying, hey, I'm not going to be making a video. I'll not have a video tomorrow. It's because I've got to work on them. Some of these things take time. Like, whenever I get around to these videos coming out, I may have been working on them for a week or 2 or 3 weeks already. Like, I've got one right now that I'm working on, this Chromebook that I've got from Lenovo, the Duet, and I like it a lot, really good. And I've got to spend a couple of hours with it, but it's not to the point where I could sit down and put this review together. So I'll be working with that some more tomorrow and the next day, and that's going to come out this next week. So I got to put in the reps. Like, if I can't just get a phone and then not give it an honest go, not put my SIM card in it, not test it out. So that's what it comes down to. I just need to, if I need to take more time, I need to take more time. Jeff needs, yeah, I do talk fast. And that's something that I've always done. It's just like I get going and then the words come out. So I apologize for that. If you lose your text, you'll lose your case on Judge Judy. Yeah, well, I will never be in front of Judge Judy. I only practice in federal tax court, so I will never be there. Let me see. We can hear it. PlayStation or Xbox? You can hear what? You probably just hear the whine in the background from my PC if you hear anything. Yeah, I'm kind of torn. I really do. I've always been an Xbox person, not a PlayStation person. But genuinely, I do like the PlayStation 5 better than the Xbox. Yeah. So, funny story, Jeff. I actually realized the other day that Google wasn't putting ads in my videos because I talk so fast. There's never any breaks. So I just have the automatic ads turned on for the video, and they put them in there automatically. They use their algorithm to look at it and say, okay, there's a break here, there's a natural pause, here's a good place to put an ad. And then I went and looked at all my videos, and I was like, there's no ads in my videos. 20-minute video and like just one because I stopped talking for 2 seconds. So yeah, I do talk really fast. Yeah, always always in imminent mode. And I don't know. I mean, that's me, of course. I mean, when I talk, that's me. So yeah, I don't know whether that's a bad thing or whether it's an okay thing or whether it just goes to the individuality of me and my channel, but I'm not a slow talker. And it's funny because I did some collaborations over the holidays. I had 2 or 3 people that asked me to make videos so that I could, so that they wanted me to be in their collaboration with them for the holiday, their end of year stuff. And I really had to make sure I slowed it down because I didn't want to sound like the guy at the auction talking in between all the other people who talk slow and normal. So I have to consciously work on that sometimes. Let me see. Good morning, DIY Freaky Surya. No, you're not late. You got 10 more minutes. I'm going for an hour. Hey, Cam. Yes. Thanks for being here tonight. And speaking of collaborations, that's one fine gentleman that I did a collaboration with. He asked me to be in his video. So if you've never seen him, go check him out on YouTube. Ivan Cam. He makes some fantastic videos. And if you like my tablet videos, you're going to love his tablet videos because not only does he not talk at 100 miles per hour, but he actually does a lot of more B-roll that looks much more professional than my video. So go check that out. This new phone got a dub and a Snapdragon with 855. Hey, if they put an 855 in this thing, I'll be totally happy with it. Like, I don't think that that's problematic at all. The 855 is a really good chip. And it's actually pretty good with managing power and performance. So that wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. And also, I would imagine it would be cheaper. OnlyFans is a D-roll. I'm not quite, OnlyFans might have been an option, like if I got to February and I didn't have a job and like the views weren't picking up. But one, I'm entirely not good looking enough for any of that. So I don't really know what I would contribute there. Maybe just sexy poses of me with Blackberries. I mean, I don't know what you guys are willing to pay for, so y'all have to give me some feedback on that. Let me see. It's an amazing thing. Actually, people give money to learn to be so fluent like you. Well, if you can keep up with how fast I talk, I'm sure that it's great. I typically don't talk on like a 5th grade reading level or anything, but I do talk quickly. I literally guess random numbers and it's a thing. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Jay Dwayne, joined late. You may have addressed this. Any word? No, they're still not. No word yet. If they were adding a stylus, I think that would be pretty cool because people look at Blackberries as productivity devices. So I think that would be like a force multiplier. And that would be like a good synergistic approach. If you take the physical keyboard, the screen, and add a stylus, I think that would be really cool. How they would pull that off, I don't know. But if they actually gave it like active stylus support, like Wacom stylus support, I think that would be really cool. Juan Martin, lots of names. Don't want to offend you. I can't pronounce all that. But Passport keyboard, it is one of the best ones. I do like it. I don't like that it's only 3 rows. I would have preferred 4 because I really hated that row of the software keys on the bottom of the screen. But it always took me out of the typing experience. Like I'm just hand jamming away on the buttons and then it's like boop, tap, 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 boop. And I really didn't like it. ARM chips are the hot thing, but the thing is ARM chips have been in phones forever. That's what we've been using. So it's funny though, when you look at the power that especially Apple is squeezing out of these new Bionic chips that they have, it blows the lower end chipsets out of the water, and plus it's got an integrated GPU. So to be able to throw all of that with essentially no heat that you have to worry about, a smaller footprint, better battery life, and all the power that's on tap, it's really great. 2005, and I want to get a smartphone. I would be getting a Blackberry. That's what I would get in 2005. Snapdragon random numbers, and there's a processor like, they incrementally go up when it comes to the processors. They usually go up by 10s, but it's changed. There was like the 801, the 808, the 810, the 820, 821, 835. Like, I don't know why they kind of jump around sometimes, but this time they went from the 865, they jumped the 875, and now we're getting the 888. So, whatever. Who knows? We'll see. I've heard really good things about the 888 Snapdragon, though, but I've also heard really good things about this new Exynos processor as well. They're saying this one could finally be better. So I'm going to have to do some more research on that. And maybe it might actually work out for people in the international markets because we only get the Qualcomm Snapdragon one here in the US, but like in the United Kingdom and parts of Europe, y'all only get the Exynos one. So, yeah. Hey, I'm Southern too. I'm from Houston. I don't think I have much of a draw, but I'm from down south. 2005 Windows CE. Hey, I actually had a Windows phone back in the day, and I really didn't mind it, other than that, like, it would freeze up all the time. That was the only thing. I actually kind of enjoyed using it. I think it was a Panasonic was the one that I had. I thought ARM chips were Apple. Maybe they were. I don't know much about Apple from way back then. It's just not anything that I have ever really messed with. I didn't have an Apple II. I was not a Mac person. Like, I just started using an Apple computer like in April or May, whenever I started editing my videos on it. Yeah, lots of good things about the Exynos. Hopefully it's good. Baton Rouge. Yeah, I like Louisiana. I've actually got family that live there, or they did live. They still have property there. My grandfather passed away last year. But if you, where you're at down in Baton Rouge, if you go up north, if you know where the Toledo Bend Reservoir is, up that way near a little town called Manny on the way to Shreveport, that's where my family is from in Louisiana. So I spent a lot of time in western Louisiana. Goodness gracious, man! Time goes by so fast when I'm in here hanging out with you guys. Like, we're already at 55 minutes, so we've got like 5 minutes left to go. Which I did get started a little bit late today. I was hoping. I usually like to start around 7:30 and trail over to about 8:30 or 9. So I behind schedule. So hopefully this next week things will get better. I'm really trying to get back into a good rhythm starting at the beginning of this year. I will still be doing my weekly live stream on Wednesday night. I used to do it on Friday night, but then I started doing one on Saturday night too, and it just seems like more people are available for Saturday night. So I don't know if I'm going to continue doing the Friday night one, and I'll just migrate that to Saturday, because sometimes I like to do Saturday and Sunday. So I probably just need to pick a day and stick with that. Maybe y'all can give me some feedback. Like, I don't know what day works best for most people, and there's a lot of reliable, supportive people who are here whenever I have these, and I greatly appreciate that. So my inclination, though, is kind of to do it on Saturday night, and then leave the flexibility open for Friday or Sunday, so we'll see. Mr. Wasp, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I was up till like 4 last night, so I can totally sympathize. So get some sleep. Thanks for being here, and I appreciate you hanging out tonight. Michael, my family is from the South New Orleans area, but I live in West. Okay, cool. I've been to New Orleans before. I haven't been there since the year 2005. I went there like 18 hours after Hurricane Katrina was there, and I spent 15 days there doing like rescue and search and support operations. So I've never actually been back. Maybe one day I'll go back, but having been there doing those 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks or so, I've never had a desire to go back there. Big John Tech, hey, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you as well, buddy. And if you have any last-minute questions or anything that y'all want to talk about before I get ready to hop off of here, then please feel free to hit those up. And if you haven't hit the like button, make sure you smash that before you head out the door. And if you had a good time here tonight, and you're not already a subscriber, then go ahead, and if you want to subscribe, that's cool too. And then channel memberships are also open, and I'm doing the first members-only live stream on the 7th, which is Thursday. So I guess I'm going to be streaming Wednesday, Thursday, and like Saturday this week, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history there. New Orleans has always been a beautiful place, but it's not a place that I've wanted to go back to. I mean, parts of me have, but parts of me really have not wanted to. Oh, thank you very much for joining the cool tier. So yeah, that's one of the exclusive perks with the whole membership thing. Of course, as you see, I do this every Saturday, so it's not like most people are missing out. But as one of the membership perks, I am doing a once-a-month live stream for channel members, and that's going to be this Thursday on the 7th. And then also, I think it's the $4.99 tier, I put access up there, like early access to videos. So if I've got a video that's already staged there, and ready to go, then you'll get to see it like before the people. So that's just one of the other things on there. But I've tried to build it out in a meaningful way to where it brings value. Because at the end of the day, any one of these things that I put in there is engagement. It's more things for me to commit for interaction with you guys. So I want it to be meaningful. It's not just like, here, throw money here, whatever. You can watch the videos and show it for free anyway. So why would you want to pay anything? Can the Blackberry Passport keyboard light up? If yes, where is the setting for it? I don't remember. I don't have one in front of me. I'd have to look at it. Out of curiosity, what do you have your shortcut key to? So I have mine assigned to it goes to Google Assistant, but whenever you press mine, it pops up and I have either Google Assistant or Boom Beach because I play Boom Beach all the time. Still waiting on your stimulus. Hopefully you get that soon. I know those started rolling out this last week. And if you already got one before, and it should go to the same place that you got your last one with regard to whether you got it either electronically or through paper check. We will see the new BlackBerry device, Q1, Q2. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good with how the quarters line up with the stuff. I just know that it's supposed to be here within the first 6 months of the new year, the first half of 2021. And thank you very much, Big John Tech Reviews. I very much appreciate it. And since I don't have any other sounds, like I said earlier, you get the doorbell because that's the only one I have programmed. Well, I've got one that says bye-bye. Bye-bye. And I don't think that's very much good for people making donations. And also, 212 Help Desk, thank you again. I know I mentioned that a second ago, but thank you for becoming a member as well. Bixby. Okay, cool. I'm not a big Bixby fan. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that's good, Michael, that you got yours as well. Well, we're at the hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. And, oh, wow. You've been around for a while then. So, yeah, you've been in for the long haul even longer than me. I started in 2005 is when I got my first BlackBerry, and never looked back. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. And like I said, yeah, if you could please, if you had a good time, hit the like button on the way out the door. And I very much appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hopping in and listening to me talk really fast for an hour. Okay, yeah, I believe that the Passport keyboard buttons do light up. I just don't have it in front of me right now, but I believe it does. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Totally appreciate it. I really appreciate the support, and y'all have a safe and wonderful rest of your weekend. Yep, I'll talk to you around 3 o'clock in the morning, Cam. Y'all have a good night. Y'all stay safe. And I'll see y'all Wednesday for the Unhinged Tech live stream on Wednesday night at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And likely this will be a next Saturday thing. And I'm going to try and do it at 7:30 like I have before, because I think 7:30 on Saturday is a really good time slot. I had been doing it 9 o'clock on Friday, and that just was not working out well at all. So I will definitely see y'all here in the near future. I'm not planning on having a video release in the morning unless I just get a wild hair at my rear end at like 11:30 tonight and decide to start recording again, because I'm very apt to do that. And we'll have videos rolling out next week. So again, adios, peace out, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all later.